Welcome to Soulciété, the shift, the tribe, the movement. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in our community, Soulciété. We are committed to being the #1 spiritual coaching community, all about enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. So today we are on Universal Law of Relativity. We are on 6 of 52 series, and we are talking about universal law. This is imperative, you guys. Universal law is like epic. When I found it, it was years after I'd been on my spiritual track. I had, as you guys know, I had a stillborn at 22, and I began the journey. I began to read, different books, take different seminars. I studied everything from shamanism to Greek oracle processes, metaphysics, you name it. I pretty much tried. I did everything. I mean, I tried every single type of modality. Okay. I never did the drugs of shamanism or anything like that. I'm kind of a purist at heart when it comes to spirituality and my awakening. But after, 22 years, it's been longer than that now, but really what happened was I began to kind of take inventory of what worked and what didn't work. What did I like? What did I want to throw away out of the different modalities that I had kind of tried on, like clothes that you try on, and you go, this one works, this one doesn't. And a little bit of each one kind of morphed into a lot of the work that I teach in Soulciété, which is really the truth triangle. It is E4 trauma method, something that I came up with a framework around subconscious trauma work. But one of the primary two other things that really worked for me is understanding universal law, understanding how the dynamics of energy works and how our subconscious is connected and one with universal law. And also breath work. Breath work was a really big thing for me as well. I got certified as a Kundalini instructor as well. I mean, one of the zillion things I did, right? But so universal law, I thought everybody needs to understand universal law. It's the basics of the axioms of how the universe works, how we manifest. We're manifesting 24/7 all the time. So why the hell are we not taught this? Why are we taught, geography before we're taught how we work, our minds work? It seems crazy to me. But so today we're talking about the relativity. You can go back and binge on the other ones, or if the other ones are recorded already, you can go ahead. This podcast, people binge a lot because we do generally 11 to 22 minute episodes, and I do longer interviews now that are sporadically spread throughout the podcast. You can take a look at each podcast. You'll know which series it is, okay? So today, the law of relativity. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Holding and suspending the breath, pulling up all the energy, all that prana, everything into the third eye, getting into that divine presence, that peace, that knowingness. Exhaling out, I recognize right here and right now the relative factor of life, this dynamic thing that can either create heaven or hell, that can create harmony or chaos, that can create prosperity or scarcity. I recognize the relative nature of this universe and how we're really here to experience our choice, our freedom, our free will. And in that, I know that you have a specific truth that works for you. You have bliss that may not be someone else's bliss. And in that, I recognize that you are the relative fractal of the one, expressed as the one. And in this, I recognize that you get to birth your truth. You get to understand who you really are and know what you truly desire in this lifetime. Your unique expression, your unique you, the highest version of you. And so on that note, I know power, I know choice, I know joy, and I know loving all of life, which is to love every drop of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I simply know this with peace and power and presence, as together we say, and so it is. Okay, the law of relativity states, what occurs on a microcosm level is what happens on the macrocosm level. Spiritual truth and universal laws are absolute truths. Okay, these are truths like you are immortal, you do not die, energy cannot be destroyed, right? That is an ultimate truth, an absolute truth. And there's also a relative truth. A relative truth is what works for you, sleeping wise, food wise, is going to be unique for you. So, however, there can be individual use for the relative perspective and experience. You get to use the one mind and a universal law to experience how you want to experience it. However, the dynamics of the universal law stay the same for everything and everyone. People are endowed with the individual use of the one mind in the exact proportion or distortion they choose at a soul level. Furthermore, your individual reality is in direct relationship to the whole. So anywhere in life right now where you're feeling, is there a situation where you feel like you're suffering, or you're kind of like at dis-ease, or you feel like you're trying to, you just don't feel like you're living the life you're designed to live, right? We need to first recognize that this is a blessing in disguise. This is the universal law. This is your subconscious mind. This is spirit, your true self, telling you you're out of alignment. The law is here to give us feedback. It's like on a car, right? Where you all of a sudden it says, oil light comes on and you got to check out what's going on. It's like it tells you before the actual car breaks down, okay? So anytime that you're feeling suffering, anytime you're feeling like you're in angst, anytime you're feeling like just it isn't flowing, that is that sign. It's blinking at you saying, wake up. Here's the sign. Here's the feeling. Here's the negative emotion, whatever's that, right? You haven't broken down yet. But if you don't listen to those signs, if you don't tap in and tune in and go, what's really going on for me? Then it's going to break down, okay? And your breakdowns are also for a breakthrough. So it's all working for you regardless. So this is anytime you're having any angst, any feeling of discord, it's your soul's way of communicating to you that you're not in alignment. You're not living in alignment with your truth. It's a relative experience for you to know what is your authentic life. It's a test. It is the greatest design of this personal factor of life that is up to you, right? One situation might work for one person and another person may not. I remember years back, I was in a relationship with a drug addict, and I thought I was making him wrong. And then I realized, I was like, no, this might work for somebody else. It doesn't work for me. I don't have to make him wrong, but I get to just follow my bliss and know what works for me, which is having, consistency and having healthy, a healthy mindset and relationship wise. So it's time for you to follow your heart and arrange your life in such a way that informs universal law in motion how you want to experience it, okay? So if you're having discord, if you're feeling suffering, if you're feeling angst, if you're feeling any out of alignment, out of flow, it's time. It's time for you to wake up, get clear of what you truly want, and direct your energy towards the people and things that really matter to you, embodying the principles that you want to embody to magnetize in the law of attraction of what you really truly want to come into your life, right? The universe desires, or not the universe, you really desire to wake up and claim your truth, right? This is, any sadness is you saying something's not right here. The emancipation from suffering is your birthright. It's your birthright to have emancipation from suffering. So the law of relativity is to really, actually, it's just how we can create in good or bad or heaven or hell, right? But it's really here to have you recognize what works for you and doesn't work for you. You don't know what you like until you know what you don't like, right? And vice versa. So today, as you go into your day, as we go into the 4 kind of steps always of awakening, which is waking up, reprogramming, aligning, and affirming, then you really want to take this on in the relative factor. Where in your life are you having a relative experience? Like, wow, I really am, this is cool. This is fascinating. I'm experiencing, being in a relationship I don't like. I'm experiencing scarcity with my money. I'm experiencing, feeling like crap by eating crappy food, right? Whatever that may be. You're here and it's really like going, oh, duh, this is a relative experience for me to understand what I like and what I don't like, Go out. All relationships are the opportunity to discover what you like and what you don't like and express yourself and never make anyone wrong, right? Second step is to reprogram. So if you're having a relative experience and you can't figure out, why can't I change this dysfunction? I keep doing things over and over again and having insanity in my life. Well, clearly that means that you've got some stuff going on the subconscious level. So you've got to do your inner work. And the next is really aligning once you've birthed your truth through reprogramming and birthing your truth of what really matters to you and your core values and birthing your purpose. Then you get to align with that. How do you align with that every day and every way? Do you have a community that supports you? Do you have practices and principles that you live by, and so on and so forth. And I may say some of the same stuff again, because guess what? That's why we call it a daily spiritual practice, you guys. It's because it is simple. We can have core principles that we live by, but we have to be reminded every single day. I know I do. The only true disease is amnesia. So when we're going through these 4 principles and steps again of awakening every time, it's for your highest good, so that you really break it down to the basics. We overcomplicate things so much, and then we go, I don't know how to do all this. Bring it back to the basics. Let it get a little monotonous sometimes, and then gradiently grow from there. So again, your relative experience, wake up, reprogram, align to your truth, align to what really you like. Align to that, and then affirm every single day. Why? Why is that important to you? Have your life purpose statement. Read it in the morning. Meditate on it. Look at it before you get in the car. Look at it before you go into big meetings. Remember what your intention is. What it is that you truly want to embody in this lifetime. And so in that note, I know perfection of the relative, whatever you're going through, I know it's perfect. There's nothing on this planet that is bad, in that it is a relative experience for us to understand what we want to create. And it's up to us to put rules and laws and all the things in that we agree to as a collective, and personally understand where we need to put boundaries and get in alignment, so that we know that this relative experience, we get to choose what we want. And guess what? I don't want hell anymore. I've tried it. I've tried suffering. I know it well. It's not fun. It's boring to me now. Now it's more fun to have a life that I love and create an incredible game of making a difference in the world and bringing truth. And it's amazing. Doesn't mean I don't have, moments of like, it's because I'm not living my truth. Then it's like, oh, I'm not living my truth. I haven't been, having enough fun with my friends. That's part of my truth as well. So done, and done. And so on that note, I just say, take another deep breath through the nose. Recognizing the law of relativity, I recognize right here, right now, the choice to experience and create heaven or hell on earth. You have that choice. I recognize right here, right now, that anything you're going through, any suffering, any strife, any dysfunction, any scarcity, anything is for the highest good, for you to wake the F up, for you to claim who you are, a spiritual badass, for you to recognize what you are demanding of yourself and saying hell yes to and hell no to the things you don't like. And in this divine moment, I recognize aligning with that truth, living the truth, breathing the truth, writing the truth, all the above. And I recognize also affirming it every day in every way through our daily spiritual practice, through our divine, extraordinary community. I simply know this in mind, in my heart. I live this, I speak this, I see it, I feel it. As together we say, and so it is. So have a wonderful day, you guys, and may you live your truth. And also, if you enjoy these podcasts, please send it to a friend. Hello, please give a review. Give it up, you guys. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciété and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciété.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you, so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciété. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciété. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.